If you don't know who this is, meet Pop Smoke. He's considered to be one of the most promising young artists to ever come out of hip hop before his life was cut short at just the age of 20 years old. Everything happened in 2020. Pop Smoke made a silly mistake that would later be considered one of the most talked about cautionary tales in modern rap history. The biggest mistake, though people talk about it a lot, wasn't just about him posting his location. It was what happened after robbers actually got inside his house that decided everything. If you had followed him around that time, maybe on Instagram, Pop Smoke was living the lifestyle every young artist or every young person from the hood is dreaming about living, right? Chains, designer clothes, luxurious watches, money and cars, everything, he had it. Because according to investigators, after he had accidentally exposed details connected to the address of the Hollywood Hills rental homes he was staying in at the time, and once the location got out, maybe different people had different thoughts about it, or they might not even have noticed, but definitely certain people noticed, and this included some teenagers who actually decided to take some action with the information they had. There were 4 of them in numbers. One was 15, the other was 16, the other was 17, and the oldest of them was actually 19. It was just actually supposed to be a simple robbery carried out by teenagers. So after they had already laid out their plans and everybody knew what was supposed to be done, sometime in the early hours, the group entered his house, and the robbery actually went well at first, because according to investigators and court testimony, the goal appeared to be just robbery: jewelry, chains, luxurious watches and cash. That's basically what they came for. And at first, Pop Smoke actually complied. He reportedly handed over the expensive jewelries and all they asked for, which means for a brief moment this story would have ended differently. This could have simply been something where the robbers robbed him, they leave, he survives, insurance cover the jewelry, and he leaves to tell the tale in an interview or something. But then something happened that completely changed the energy in the room. According to later accounts tied to the case, after receiving the jewelries, one of the teenagers allegedly said thank you, and that was it. That was all it took to change the dynamic in the room. And weirdly enough, that tiny moment changed everything for the story, because I think Pop Smoke in his head was underestimating them. Maybe he heard the voice and thought, yes, these are kids, they might be with fake guns, or he could overpower them and scare them off or something. In that split moment, he made a decision that everybody wished he did not. A struggle broke out and they started struggling all over the house. One of the teenagers, while struggling, fired multiple shots, and instantly the robbery became an homicide. That's the part of the stories that stays with people for years. Like, this was simply a moment where you could have just laid down, let the thieves go and keep your life, but just trying to act off change everything in the room. The robbery was basically over. The teenagers were already trying to leave, but one sudden decision changed everything. Him believing he could overpower them cost him his life. And honestly, that's what makes this case feel very disturbing. I feel this is a story for everyone, that everything can be replaced but life can't. So in moments like that, especially in a life or death moments, we should carefully always think twice before we take actions, because a great rapper would still be here if only he would have just let chains and jewelries go at the moment.